ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to address a topic, linguistic, scientific, and religious in a way, and musical. Okay? For those of you that don't know me, welcome to the M3ZZY podcast, episode 8, Ras Taf Far I. Jestem Żabka Green, M3ZZY, Monsieur Green Dupont, na kwa wale wa Kiswahili waweza niita bwana kijani, lakini haswa kwa Kiingereza ndio matamshi ni mwafaka, Mr. Green. Today's episode is dedicated to the memory of the just deceased singer of Morgan heritage, Peter Morgan. So I want to touch on a few things. To begin with, I want to talk about music, okay? And music, whether we like it or not, is prophecy. The human being is programmed to act out whatever is in your subconscious. When I used to be an aspiring pro basketballer, and it was the last minute in the game, my coach, once again shout out to Gringo at Cooperative Bank, he used to say, don't try to shoot to score. Because if you think to yourself, what if I miss? The mind thinks in verbs. So the verb over there is miss. You're bound to miss it. Your body will act it out. But if you think, what if I get it? The verb over there or the action words over there are get it. So your body acts it out. So in the same way, music is a prophecy in the sense that you act out something. It puts something in your subconscious that you're bound to act out. You cannot listen to the gross and do the great. It doesn't work like that. Okay? So on that particular note, I would like to say my love for reggae music, which is well ingrained, having had some of the best producers in reggae and in other types of music in Kenya, is because of an admiration of conviction, of truth, of verity that brings out a lifestyle. Now, you may have an issue with Rastafaris on their claims for Haile Selassie and what have you. But when it comes to religion and institution and truth and verity, I say that all our institutions, and especially religion and truth, they are not really anything we can boast about. They are actually an indirect indicator of our failure or our propensity to not do the proper thing or the better thing as far as destiny is concerned. So we need a teacher to cajole us to excel. Okay? We need a preacher to preach to us to get somewhere. We need a government to get a policeman with a gun to threaten us to do something in case we decide to go out of line. We just don't have the propensity to do the proper. So you may dispute the claims to do with Haile Selassie and what have you, but I'll just say this. You being a religious person, or maybe a truthful person or a historian person as you consider yourself, they, with their belief in Haile Selassie, produced a music. What have you produced out of your belief and your truth? And last that I checked, I don't think you're inventing any new music. So on that basis, I respect them. And that's the reason why I, Żabka Green, as Mr. Nobody, and remember nobody is perfect, would like to give my condolences to the Morgan family in relation to the passing of Peter Morgan, one of the greatest reggae singers in our time, or in this particular generation. We must give respect. So on that note, the title of this particular podcast today is Ras Taf Far I. Okay? And it's basically a play around with words that you as a Ras, or a king, which is actually what the word means, Rastafari. Tafari Makonnen is the name of Haile Selassie. So it's a combination of king and Tafari. You as a king Okay, and I'd like to remind folk of a quote that I once made here, that I make this podcast because I believe there is a king or a queen in you, my listener, and I would like that king or queen to come out. In case, for one reason or the other, because I do not control the future, I do not ascend to my throne and do the needful that I focus on and I envision. My speaking to you is so that you can carry the baton and attain the kingdom that I aspire to. Because I, focusing on verity and truth, consider myself an aspirant to embody the same in everything that I do. And truth in the sense of the highest verity possible. Okay? So, Ras tough for our eye. You can only be as tough, O king, O queen, as far as your eye can see. I once quoted over here Al-Khadr from the Quran, Surat Al-Kahf, which if you're from Mombasa, you know, is compulsory reading every Jummah or Friday, okay? And Al-Khadr, speaking to Moses, said, you cannot have any patience for that which your knowledge does not encompass. And it's the same sense, you cannot be tougher than your insight or how far your eye can see. So, Ras, you're only as tough as your eye sees far. And I would like to encourage you to see far. Every man is following another man. Your pops followed another man who told him you must take your children to school. The teacher in school is following another man who said you must teach. Okay? The guy who said you must teach is following another man who made it necessary. So everybody's following somebody else. So watch who you're following. As for me, I prefer to follow people who follow the truth. And being very observant of their destiny. Okay? Because we are men and we are all fallible. And so at particular times, somebody who might be really engaged in the truth and following the right perspective might lose it. But hopefully, if you're falling in verity, you don't have to necessarily go into the same pitfalls. A wise person learns from them that went before them. So, consider what goes in your ear, for you cannot listen to the gross and expect to be great. Music, at the end of the day, is prophecy. So what are you prophesying about your life? Today is one of those M3ZZY podcasts which I call Watch the Nugget. Don't have too much to say, but a lot to imply in what I just said. So ladies and gentlemen, king or queen, this is wishing you today and forever that you may be a Ras that's tough because of how far your eye sees. Have a great day and see you next time. Salute.